Hello, I'm Zelna Lawrence, founder of the Kids Life Studio, and I have had the privilege of working alongside fellow professionals who are passionate children's change makers around the world since 2003. And today I'm popping in to share with you the value that I've received as a Kids Life coach in networking and connecting and collaborating with fellow professionals. And what I've found is there are four different pillars. I suppose they're the corner pieces to your puzzle. And if you have these corner pieces in place as a professional kids life coach in your professional kids life coaching practice, it just makes it much easier to build the rest of the puzzle. Because if you have a good network around you, then it means that you can support your clients as a kids life coach in a good way, a solid, robust way with a good referral network in place. So the first part that I'm going to share with you, the first little puzzle piece, the corner, is connection. Now, connection is the bedrock of everything that we do as kids life coaches. Well, it should be anyway, because relationships are our number one value at Kids Life Studio. And we believe in building relationships with people because social support theory has clearly shown through the research that children who have connection with one caring adult show really good results in terms of confidence, self-esteem, longevity, in terms of supporting them in having good well-being into adult life. The same goes for you as a kids life coach. If you're working in a silo all alone and you do not have connection with fellow coaches that can lift you up and share their experiences, and you can share your experiences, you need to go and find your community. And that brings me to the second puzzle piece, which is community. So connection is imperative. And connection is not only about you connecting with fellow kids life coaches, it's also connecting with fellow professionals who are passionate about coaching just the way that you are. So let's move on to community, which is the second puzzle piece, as I was saying. Community can look like different things for different people, depending on your needs, depending on your interests. Community does not necessarily, as a professional kids life coach, have to be in a professional capacity. So I'll give you an example. I have a community of swimming partners where we do open water swimming during the summer months in England in the ocean. And that is a community of like-minded people who are interested in their physical well-being and their mental well-being, because of course, as we know, there's this huge thing about cold water swimming at the moment and how good it is for you. And so that is one of my communities. So it's important as a professional kids life coach to find communities, not only online. Online is good. And that's why we have our membership opportunity for people who want to have a community of kids life coaches they can have access to on WhatsApp and in the Zoom room twice a week during mentorship calls and group support calls. Community on the ground is just as important. And if you don't have a community, make one. That's my advice to you, is find what makes you sing. If it's launching a book club, if it's launching a baking club, or if you love to sing, join a choir. Find a community, because it's not always in the spaces that we think we're going to get clients for our coaching practice that it happens. Sometimes it's in those casual conversations and in the environment we find ourselves in, where we're just being ourselves and showcasing who we are, that we will find clients and we will be able to do business, so to speak. Because none of us as kids life coaches are in this for sales, yet in order to pay our bills and to make this a full-time career, we need to get clients, and community is a really good way of doing this. Now, also the parents in your community, your localized community, so to speak, may want you to connect the dots for them. So you could put together events for parents and for professionals in your community. How wonderful is that? The next puzzle piece is communication. So it's quite obvious that communication fits beautifully with connection and community, because we need to be able to communicate with other people about our passions and our interests. And let me tell you, one thing I've learned in being in business for so long and having my own kids coaching practice and scaling, and I've learned the hard way most of the time. But one thing I have learned is that speaking to other people and asking questions is actually so healthy for me. And that's where I've had my most learning, where I've had a problem and I'm like, oh, who do I think can help me with that? And I'll approach people that I sometimes don't even know, but they're an expert. And I'll say, look, I have this problem. Can you help me with X, Y, Z? So get good at communicating and making sure that you surround yourself with people who are willing to help. And that means that you, my friend, as a kids life coach, also need to be willing to help. People may reach out to you who may not have the money to spend on your coaching package, because one of the things that make us unique at the work we do is that we don't dilly-dally around. We don't do fluff. We don't do frills. We have robust coaching packages. We don't do post-session coaching because you don't get results that way. We are interested in good results in our clients. And we know that selling a coaching package at a fee that is sometimes higher than people can afford is the way to do that, because we know we're going to get the traction and the results, the long-term sustainable results that we need. So in terms of communicating your story and not selling, you need to also be willing to share with people who can't afford your fees. You can't afford to pay for those coaching packages. So communication can come in many different forms. It could be in the form of you doing a free school talk. It could be in the form of speaking at a networking event. It could be in the form of written communication and writing blogs or writing articles or doing TikTok videos. I haven't even ventured there. That's my goal for this year. I just say that out loud. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to learn how to communicate online, because when I started my coaching practice in 2003, I didn't have social media for 6 years in my coaching practice. Sorry, I'm deviating slightly, but only in 2009 did I get access to Facebook. And then I had somebody who managed my Facebook for me, because I had no idea how it all worked. And they taught me how it all works. So I'm going to have to find somebody and communicate my need to get online and make TikTok videos, possibly. I don't know. The very last puzzle piece. So we've got connection, we've got community, we've got communication. I hope you've noticed that they all start with C. The very last one is collaboration. If you're the kind of kids life coach that holds everything close to your chest and you're not a sharer, be careful of that, because you'll become known as that. The coaches who are part of our network, our global network of Kids Life Studio alumni who've done our training, they all sign a code of ethics. And one of the things that we really are quite serious about is being open and willing to share. And so we have these wonderful mentorship sessions where our coaches in our network actually present as part of those sessions, and they'll present their challenges, they'll present new skills they've come across, they'll present best practices, case studies, and they do that without expecting anything in return other than the fact that they can attend somebody else's session. So collaboration is a really important part of setting up a coaching practice and building that puzzle of getting clients, and not just getting clients, but keeping those clients, maintaining them, keeping them happy. And collaboration may mean that it's not just connecting with or collaborating with fellow kids life coaches like in the Kids Life Studio. It may mean on the ground collaborations. And the thing is, if you open yourself up to opportunity, the opportunity is going to come. If you walk around with blinkers on and you're like, I only want to network with this kind of person and I only want this kind of client, you are closing yourself to opportunity. Set your RAS, your reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain that actually is able to spot clues for you. Set it on having good, robust collaborations. And those collaborations could look like a variety of things. There could be monetary value in them. So it could be a referral between you and, say, for instance, an occupational therapist or a chiropractor. So that's a collaboration where you refer to each other. And it could be also a monetary one, could be you having people who have access to your perfect client referring to you and you giving them a referral fee. However that looks, it doesn't matter. So that's a monetary collaboration, but there's also collaboration for the good of mankind. Sometimes you just want to collaborate and start feel-good projects or awareness days or advocacy in mental well-being. And in fact, I was speaking to one of our network coaches a short while ago, and they were speaking about they going to be advocating for less smartphone use for children, and they've aligned themselves with an organization that has provided them with the materials to present to their community. Super smart. That's really, really smart, because collaboration and connection, communication, and community are the puzzle pieces of your coaching practice, the four corner pieces. I don't know if you've ever built a puzzle without the corners. I'm not really good at building puzzles. I have to look at the whole picture, and it takes me a while to discern and to put the pieces together. Well, that's the other thing I wanted to say. As a professional kids life coach and training people now through our Kids Life Coach Academy, I've realized that we've reached a time in our a time in this era where we cannot delay getting out to market. We can't delay reaching our ideal client. And sometimes our ideal client's not the client who can pay for our services. Sometimes our ideal client is the person who cannot afford to pay. And we need to be innovative and creative about how we get those clients. Now more than ever, children are needing us. And as kids life coaches, we can earn a really good income supporting families who can afford our fees, but also collaborate, connect, communicate, and create community around those people who may not. So if you're not volunteering in any way, I encourage you to volunteer. Oh, you can give away some of your services at no cost or a low fee, and just mobilize the people in your direct community with a world that has increasingly moved online. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's so many good things that have come from the technological advancements. There's nothing wrong with that. But we as adults, and especially as kids life coaches, we have to make sure that our relationships are on the ground as well, in our localized areas, in our local community. And if you're not doing that and creating your local community and investing into the people around you, I want you to think again. Okay, as a kids life coach, I want you to think again. What can you provide to your community with not expecting anything in return? You're not selling anything. You're not wanting anything. You just want to serve. As kids life coaches, in fact, our community of coaches at Kids Life Studio, we really are of service. And we don't always know all the answers, but because we're part of a network, and we have two kinds of coaches listed on our website. We have our alumni coaches who've done our training and who are actively coaching children. So we don't verify their documentation, and they don't attend professional supervision with us. We do, however, have the coaches who are premium coaches listed on our website who are verified. They undergo professional supervision. They attend the mentorship sessions, and they share their ideas and their tips and strategies with other coaches in our network. So if you're working in a silo and all on your own, I highly encourage you to network. And that means these puzzle pieces we've just spoken about. And make sure that when you network, it's not about what you can gain, but about what you can give. Okay? I always say this. And so if you are a coach who's part of our network watching this, please forgive me. But when you give, your hand is open to receiving. Give and receive. And giving doesn't have to mean giving big things. It means how you show up in your local community. Giving just a smile, just a conversation to a homeless person can position you as somebody in your community who is a true change maker. Children's change makers are not just kids life coaches. They are people who invest in the community. And a kids life coach actually works with the entire family, the school, and the extended community. So I want to leave you with that. And I want to say, if you have not networked in the past week, in the past month, in the past year, now is your time to go out there and find a networking event that you can attend just as a bit of a kickoff. If there are none that you're interested in, perhaps create your own. That's my top tip for today. And remember those four corners, those pillars of, initially that's what I call them, and then I realized they were puzzle pieces: connection, collaboration, communication, and community. Those are the four things that are really going to set you a nice framework for building the rest of your coaching practice. So do those effectively, and then the rest will all fall into place as it needs to. So sending lots of love and zeal your way. I'm Zelna Lawrence, founder of the Kids Life Studio, and I really encourage you to go out there, spread your magic. We have a job to do, and that is to rebrand childhood and to take children back to childhood, to what they deserve to have, how they deserve to live. We have this new normal that is rewiring our children's brains. And that's why I say we need to give childhood a rebrand. And that's what we're doing as kids life coaches around the world. We're allowing children to do what they do best, and that's just to play. Our play-based coaching is a great way to get them reconnecting with themselves, with nature, and with their family, learning these things I spoke about today: connection, communication, collaboration, community. That's what's missing in childhood. So thank you for your support. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to reach out, please do. The details will be in the bottom of this video. So taking lots of love and zeal from you to you, and wishing you all the best.